Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew Leaf, Xfinity, and ESEA.
OpTic has been trounced, trumped, and beat on, and that's the only way we can summarize what just happened over the course of train here with my analytical crew. Of course, Pimp and Vendetta. Guys, how are we even going to begin to break this one-sided affair from Ghost Gaming down?
I mean, I liked a lot what I saw on the CT side from Ghost. The constant aggression, you know, and mid-round aggression. Not starting out the rounds by being horrendously aggressive, but playing them out safe in the beginning, you know, using their agility, and then mid-round, you know, coming in with the aggressive pushes. We saw it in the beginning of the match where I think it was Subrosa and some other guy pushed into PopDog with 50 seconds left and just dismantled OpTic in the beginning of the round. So they were playing well, and they were playing like with confidence and actually taking the game to OpTic instead of waiting for OpTic to come to them. And that's how you should do this underdog. This was a perfect example of how a team that is by no means good enough to produce a result like this actually do it somehow.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. And I guess, again, some of it comes down to the fact that we don't really see a spectacular performance from OpTic side either. As you mentioned, the fact that they basically, it's not the initial aggression that catches them off guard. It's the mid-round decisions from the side of Ghost that actually troubles them, and that also goes to talk about something about the pacing of the game from OpTic side as well. We saw this versus Complexity as well. They're not the greatest at actually dealing with tempo changes, from their own side in terms of whether they can play fast or play slow. We saw them versus Complexity. Whenever they went slow, they started losing a grip of the game. Same kind of deal here, and this is off of the back that Ghost are recognizing, well, tempo slowed down, we can actually move about freely because OpTic are not necessarily doing a good job of maintaining map control while they're waiting for a set executor or anything of that sort. So very lackluster from OpTic. We've seen them twice on train now, and it's not been convincing whatsoever so far in Pro League. But I guess the trend that's kind of been going with them is the fact that they lose their map pick and they go into their opponent's one and come back with fury. So if you're OpTic, that's kind of what you have to hang your hat on.
I think in all reality, Gade not having a stellar performance here by any stretch of the imagination.
To say the least, right?
Pretty much the opposite.
To say the least. Like
to say the least, yeah. It was a pretty rough time over there for his showing, which ultimately doesn't necessarily reflect on why OpTic performed so poorly here. Or is it that Ghost is just this super team that we didn't expect?
I mean, it's definitely OpTic not playing
Wardell.
Yeah, Wardell was having a good game.
Beast.
Seb as well, having one hell of a game. Where did that come from? I don't think anyone expected that. And I think in general, it's just, Ghost they keep surprising us. We saw them in the very first week losing 16-5, 16-4 in the two first games, looking absolutely dismantled and terrible, to say the least. I was ready by then to say you're not going to win one single game in Pro League if you keep playing like that, which was a fair estimate. Yeah, it would have been true. So the way that they brought the level into this week 3 is actually insane. Now, I'm not going to question how much that has to do with the change in lineup. That obviously plays in always. It's like a honeymoon period. Might bring in some new motivation, but it's like the old guys, if you can say old guys in the squad, who's stepping up. Wardell, Seb, all of a sudden having a career high performance and start to this Pro League. They're already on 3 wins now. No matter what happens in the next map against OpTic, they should be happy with the way they have started Pro League. They're already now, considering the landscape in the league, considering how they're playing so far, they can almost see themselves out of the relegation, or at least like the last spot in the league, which is currently looking towards going to Dignitas, who have been playing like Ghost in the first week.
Yeah, especially because of what you mentioned, they still have teams like Dignitas and Complexity left to fight against, and if they put up displays like this, and even if not necessarily all of the teammates or the entire team does it, Wardell doing stuff like this two nights in a row, that could be enough. Yeah. We saw, on train yesterday versus Splice, that was enough to get him over the edge. And I also feel like we have to give some credit to Subrosa. We were being harsh on him.
You guys, I can't believe how rude you were being.
Yeah, no, you as well, obviously.
No, actually, Subrosa, if you're watching this, which I know you will be, the greatest. And you'll know exactly what the reference is. We were hanging out one time at this place with some other people. Anyway, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Keep doing what you do. And we're going to go ahead and switch it now. Turn on these community plays. Let's check it with the community. ESL.gg/PL plays, or excuse me, submit plays. That also works as well. Go ahead and submit the best one you got. I'm sure you guys got some bangers too, right? In all of your matchmaking experiences.
I mean, you'd be surprised how far and few between those things happen for me. I mean, it's been a while.
Well, I'm not really surprised.
You just have to stop by my stream area, you know. So.
Oh wow. And well, I'd say where can we do that, but we're not going to do that. That's not completely necessary. But yes,
idea.
Pimp will certainly be streaming his life away for the remainder of the weekend. If you'd like to watch the Dane himself behind the mouse and keyboard, guys, we're going into Overpass. Overpass is the final map of the night, the final map of the week. And most importantly, we might be up for a show considering Ghost has decided to show up today.
Yeah, they definitely have. Again, I can't say with confidence that I think Ghosts are going to win this. I think Wardell's going to have a good showing, but again, it's been too inconsistent from his teammates in that sense as to when they show up. We've seen 2 good train games from Subroza so far in this Pro League. We've seen 1 good game from Seb. Outside of that, not really a whole lot. So it's tough to see them doing anything about it. OpTic has had kind of a trend of starting slowly, getting punched in the face on their first map, and then coming back stronger into it on their second. So even though they haven't necessarily played all that much Overpass, they played it once in the 2-0 loss versus Energy this week. But you know, at least they have put their foot down on the map and kind of ran around in that sense. And I think that might actually be enough because there was a lackluster individual performances on the side of OpTic as well. I think that's going to be rectified as well. So yeah, still kind of leaning towards OpTic in this.
I mean, there's no doubt OpTic are the heavy favorites. If we look at player pound for pound, OpTic are a super team bought in to at least qualify for the World Finals in Dallas. And I mean, the one thing that I look towards Ghost and see that could potentially recreate itself on Overpass is the mid-round aggression. You know, Overpass is a map that allows for that mid-round aggression, both on the B-bomb side and especially on the A-bomb side, where you have the toilet area and you have the A-long area, where you can allow yourself to be semi-aggressive in the beginning, then fall back and then like do the aggressiveness in the middle of the round. And if they can keep doing that and interrupt the way OpTic want to play, if they do decide to play a slower game play, which Stanislaw sometimes like to do, then I see a potential where OpTic could mess with them once again and maybe ruin that game plan. That again, it requires a lot of confidence to do, and it requires that they have the right mindset to do that. So I'm hoping they're listening into what I'm saying right now, because if they do that, then I actually think they have a decent chance of spoiling a little bit with OpTic.
Coach Vinicky. Love it. It's got a nice little ring to it. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
Just like Coach Carter, you know, it's the same thing.
Same exact thing.
Pretty much.
That's the first thing that came to my mind, at least. Overpass is the digital battleground. That is where this war will be waged. And guys, I don't know about clear favorites in this one anymore. Hell, I don't know anything anymore after just seeing how easy that looked for Ghost.
Nothing changed for you, Stana?
Wow. I do know one thing, Pimp. You know what that is?
No.
Cloud9 won a major. North America has a major title under their belt. That's right.
Took them 10 tries.
You heard it here first. North America has won a major. Carry on, Pimp.
Nah, I mean, you're right. There's a clear favorite still. OpTic should be the clear favorite. We talked about it, pound for pound. They're the better team. They're bought into to go to the Dallas World Finals. And Ghost is a team that is in the league, you know, just to survive and just cause chaos where they can. And I think OpTic on Overpass with all the Danes, without, you know, touching too much on that, like, Danes are notoriously known for being great Overpass players. And they have a decent idea of how to play it. They bring in Config, they bring in Cajun, who both are great Overpass players individually, but also function well on North, who are a great Overpass team. So they've probably brought in a lot of good stuff to this OpTic team. So I'm having a hard time justifying saying Ghosts have a chance in this one. But then again, I mean, if they can continue being semi-aggressive and doing it delayed in the rounds while keeping OpTic away from playing fast, then I think they have a chance to cause some chaos. And whether that's enough or not, don't think it is. But it's probably going to be closer than a 16-4 in that sense. I'm
gonna, throw out a very, very slim silver lining here for Ghost, and that is in their loss versus Energy for OpTic. One thing they really struggled with was actually containing Zerk, and obviously we know he's the EVP player on their side. Obviously a very explosive player. Wardell, same story for Ghost, kind of their clear-cut star player in that sense. Yeah. So if it is a recurring theme that they can't really deal with opposing oppers, if Shazam's not having a great game, if the riflers can't get those one taps, for instance, that kind of thing, maybe Wardell can propel them into a pretty good position. Well, remains to be seen. And also, I think there is a bit of case where you could see OpTic underestimating Ghost. Obviously, going into the first map, they probably would have expected to win that without too much issue. Probably have changed that mindset going into Overpass, but still, that could still put them in a position where if they get off to a rough start, they could get easily tilted. And we know that you mentioned this with personalities. One of the things about the personalities is that they're usually fairly emotional, so that could also come into play if the things start to go wrong.
That added to the game, like OpTic has to win this one. They can't start off the season by losing 2-0 to Ghost. You know, that is one of the teams they need to 2-0 if they want to clinch the top 6 spots. Because OpTic still need to play the big guys, you know, and still need to play SK, still need to play Cloud9, Liquid for that matter. You know, they have a lot of rough games in their hands, so they need to grab as many points as they can right now. So losing 2-0 to Ghost, that could potentially put them out of the run for a top 6 spot, which would be a huge disappointment for OpTic going into this Pro League season.
Well, going into at least Overpass, you guys are going to have another chance. You're going to get to pick who you think is going to win. And you at home can also pick who you think is going to win by using hashtag ESL Pro League on your favorite social media platform. That's right. Get in there, get involved, and who knows, maybe Pimp will read it at some point during the broadcast. Now, guys, who do you have in this one very quickly?
I'm going to side with OpTic still. They should be the better team, and that's the end of that.
All right, fair enough. Same?
OpTic is going to win this one. There's no doubt about it.
Okay. Well, you signed that warrant, so to say, so I'm going to go ahead and sign it on over here to our commentators. Let's at least bring them in to the conversation that is OpTic Gaming versus Ghost. You guys are able to take it from here, but I want to leave you with one parting word. This is for you, Harry.
Thank you.
Pimp, got these for you.
Thank you.
Those are carrots.
They look delicious.
He's my little bunny.
You won't eat one of those in the microphone? Don't. It'll be really loud.
Yeah, it would be terrible. That would just be the... I'll put them down.
Hold the cough button and then eat one.
I'm just not going to.
How much do you think you can fit in your mouth in one bite?
I mean, not as much as Pimp can, that's for sure.
All right. Well, we're going to give it to you guys in
Here we
GTFO.
go.
See you later.
Let's get the hell out of that one. Ooh, all right, second map coming up. Surely we cannot be... Oh, hello again. We're here. That was me cracking my knuckles. Surely we can't be surprised twice in a row.
I don't know. I think Ghost have got this. You know, I'm feeling it. Overpass, my favorite map. Ghost, my favorite team.
He's been lured in. The bait has been set. He's on the hook. Just got to reel him in. Overpass is now live as freeze time comes to an end. Pistol round starting off, and I believe it's going to be what? It would be Ghost Gaming on the T side, I would imagine, to start things off on the pistol round.
Yeah, they're going to be over on the T side, as you say, and it looks like we might just see a fast B play come in from them. All 5 players running down towards Monster. They're going to go ahead and depart from that angle for the time being. Now, Config on the boost here. It's a very heavy dedication early on. 4 players down in this site, and Config lines up 3. He wants to try and find a little bit more, but it all falls on a Stanislaw at the end. He drops out Visa, and that will be OpTic into a first round. That was fantastic. Very rarely do we see that boost be so damn effective. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and change my prediction. I'm going to go with OpTic, because I think Config, and all the days, as a matter of fact, are fantastic on Overpass.
That is, those are incredible shots to hit, especially all 3. Those are very narrow windows of opportunity, and I guess that round is basically Config just saying, Daddy's here. We've had enough. And look at this, wants to get aggressive. He does get tagged down to 72, forced away as well. Doesn't get the success he wanted initially. Full investment in the second round for Ghost Gaming. Smoke on Visa, flash on Subrosa. And Config still dueling away, happy with the M4 to use the range. He is brought down to about half HP. Gate is spotted that the door is open for the moment. He's going to push up, get aggressive, and there goes Config. Can't win that battle. M4 salvaged as well. No one nearby with HP to really use that weapon, though. And what is Shazam trying to do around this smoke? Does he want to go through it? He hears the flashbang coming off. Here's the follow-up utility. But he's in great position to get information about what's coming, and it looks like he's walking through the smoke on that mini-map right into bathrooms. He's going to see it's cleared out any minute now. We're going to see Gade start rotating over towards the B bomb site right after he checks long. This is taking a very long time to come to fruition for Ghost, and I think that's going to be their downfall, because Shazam is poised perfectly. As long as there can be some delay on this hit, as long as these 3 OpTic players can slow it down, and Stanislaw is going to get 2. Good trades, though. 7, Subrosa chiming in, and Shazam's a little bit late. They weren't able to hold off long enough, and Subrosa, 3 kills in the round. Ghost Gaming returned the favor 1-1.
Yeah, and you know, what can I say? I always had faith. Always had faith in my boys on Ghost. I think that they're the ones that are going to take this map, Jason.
Yeah, they very well could, and obviously you've kind of seesawed a little bit here and there. So we'll see how it all goes. Slight technical issue between the two teams, so we're gonna see what happens here. Certainly a nice timing for it for OpTic Gaming, considering they just got a little bit smacked in the face.
Yeah, no, a little bit of a timeout to sit this one out and realize what exactly went wrong. I mean, you know, it was a couple of nice shots initially. It was weird. They were set up quite well, right, to actually hold on to that site. You had the quick flank that could come through from Shazam, but it was Seb and Sebrosa, or Sebrosa as their couple name is, that just did so well there.
Yeah, is that the couple? You just coined that one as well. You've been doing that these past few days.
Yeah, you know, just got to pave the way to a whole new era of sayings.
Okay, cool.
And I want to be the one to do. I'm like the Christopher Columbus of the casting world.
Christopher Columbus of the casting
That's
world.
a pretty big quote to live up to.
Careful coining yourself the Christopher Columbus.
No,
you might not want that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this if this happens, if Ghost wins both maps, that is going to be some wild scenes for an OpTic team that expected to get a lot out of this lineup. It's still early days, obviously, but you would have expected them right off the bat with the players they have to be at a higher level, I think.
Yeah, and I think they think that too, right? It's quite obvious, you know, that kind of looks like they're coming into this expecting to win. They go for like quite audacious plays originally, and then they kind of get like staggered back by how much resistance they get, and that pretty typical of, you know, whenever you kind of said it in the last game as well. Whenever you kind of see the EU imports come over, they feel like they could just do it on the raw skill alone, and you really kind of get that vibe, like, you know, based on how they act and how they conduct themselves. And usually, you know, they very quickly realize, like, you know, you can't just come over and win on, you know, your raw skill, because the NA guys are actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's an assumption that I've seen many European players fall into, which is kind of wild. It's one of those things where there's been enough evidence that you can't just do that. You can't just come over and rely on that kind of talent. And I don't know if that's what's happening with OpTic. I'm sure that's maybe like a small part or like a certain percentage of their issues. Obviously, still a new team. I'm a pet, still has to have some time to work on them and everything like that and help out, kind of iron out the issues. So we'll see. It's weird at the moment that it just looks like it's not necessarily individual problems with the team. It's more the fact that they seem to not be playing well as a unit, that individually they can't perform properly. You can see from the scoreboard that the OpTic pings had spiked up to about 130, 140. They're down in Texas. What better state in those United States to get new Danish people acclimated to their new home?
Yeah.
Texas is a wild ride, Harry. Have you ever been there?
I have not. No.
Okay.
I mean, isn't that the place where now you can carry swords? I swear that was it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, it's very possible. I did not know about that.
Because you know, you'd catch me like carrying a sword around everywhere.
You strike me
Why
as a
not?
sword swallower in your day.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I'm many things, and that is one of them, Jason. Actually,
Okay.
Man of many talents.
Yeah, I can imagine. We're going to take it off to a quick break as they try and get their pings under or resolve that issue resolved. And stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly. Yes, welcome back to ESL Pro League. Technical issues seem to be resolved. We are going to get back into the game. It was all tied up at 1-1. OpTic won the pistol round with a stunning 3-kill from Config on the P2K, and then Ghost Gaming responded by a 3K of Sub-Rosa. So I keep saying Sub-Zero. I don't know why.
You do.
I have Mortal Kombat.
It's really on the forefront of your mind, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That'd be cool. Sub-Zero skin in the game? I'm down.
Well, you know what? Right now, Ghost, they are looking like they're approaching Sub-Zero. They're cool as ice in this round. They've got the bomb down. 5-on-5, and OpTic have Gade and a Stan over here. Trying to find something, although Visa does lie in wait with the Mac-10. And this is not the sort of situation you want to find yourself in. But Gade has no problem dispatching of the lone gunman back in T-spawn. It is going to be a second round for Ghost, though, as OpTic just concede this one willingly.
And I think they're going to be fine with kind of bringing, not risking too much in terms of these pistols they're invested in. I believe it'll be a double save, so they'll want to reuse those. They have some utility. See if they can get anything done. It was a gamble over towards the A bomb site for OpTic in the last round. Obviously did not pan out. And this time they can try something new. Stan with the Mac-10 is going to purchase up light armor just to help with any engagement he gets into. So is Gade, down to 1900 on him. And again, just quick as you please over towards that B bomb site. Fast-paced overpass. Couple leading the way through Monster. Sub-Rosa with the AK-47. He's got his mate Seb with him. Spamming, clearing out water quite nicely, efficiently. Double kill for Seb in the round. The hero of the 1v4 on train to close things out, and Ghost has this pretty well under control. There's all the last one left, gonna get a kill. A couple kills of the Mac-10 is gonna help with bonus money, and if he could get out with the M4, that'd be great. I don't know if they're gonna let him. I think Seb saw him cross, and yeah, actually not even chasing it down, just making sure that Stanislaw can't actually go for it. So should be a chance for Stanislaw to just run away. This has actually turned out to be a very good round for him, about as good as it could turn out.
Yeah, really is as good as it gets. $1,200 made with the Mac-10 and M4 saved, and that is pretty much everything he could have hoped for. Third round on the board for Ghost. Buy comes in the next, though, for OpTic. So you kind of understand their hesitancy of going to hunt this one rifle down. He's already done enough damage. There's no need to give him any more. Now this buy is going to be able to come in, thanks to the extra money made, and the players that save Stan can actually go ahead and drop the AWP over so that everyone has all the utility they need. That's exactly what is going to happen. So this buy from OpTic is a very, very good one, all things considered. They've got full utility almost across the board. It's just Config and Shazam missing an Incendiary. Ghost, so they've got the AWP out for Wardell.
Well, they've been very fast-paced in this half to start with. Going to have to slow down naturally due to all the utility in the hands of OpTic, but overall looks like they've made up their mind of where they want to end up. 3 players in these short sewers in water, and Cajun, he wanted to get aggressive, but he's going to get blinded. Config already on the flank. Again, all they have to do is delay at this B bomb site for Config to come in, but Seb's going to get the opening kill. Transfers over to Gade, but everyone has arrived now. Config, the flank is effective this time, and it's just Sub-Rosa. All kills matter here. He's going to disappear into the smoke, and if he can work his way around Stanislaw, he could catch Shazam off guard, depending on where he's scoped up. He's gotten by. No one notices him just now. Stanislaw looks to his right and will find it. A second round for OpTic. And they're going to get a free AWP as they upgrade. And there you see a very good tutorial on why spreading out into a default is often the way teams choose to go. Aggression from Config out towards long A yields a very fast flank. And a double kill. That pretty much ended the round.
Yeah, Config is very, very confident on this map. There's been so many memorable moments provided to us from him. There was the
big balls knife?
Yeah, the big balls knife, exactly. The one that sort of, you know, got Config very, very well known if he wasn't already. And, well, into this round, 3 players over into middle aggressively. Wardell is posted up to shut this down. Missed shot onto Shazam. Going to be scratching his head, but I think he was still moving there as he takes it. Repositions. He spots the head, and Shazam, there was no way he could have shot that one down. The one thing is they found one man aggressive. Config's there, and actually secretly Stan has slipped on through into the park, but he's not playing around.
I don't think they're going to clear this. He could actually have the opportunity for a double kill. He's going to hold the trigger. They have no clue. He's going to push on behind it. That's the bomb as well on the last player. He's just telling everyone to rotate. Look at Subrosa, though. He's got position close up towards this A bomb site. It just might not ever matter. And Stanislaw, it's got to be nerve-wracking. Any moment they could turn around, they could spot him. Just a random player decides to check. It's not happening so far. And Stan, this flank is building into something special. We'll see what it comes into. 4 players, none of them looking his way. Could be a huge spray down. When does he pounce? There's been so many good opportunities, and it's now. He only gets 2, but it does its job. It pulls him back into this. The problem for OpTic is that Subrosa has already gotten control of the A bomb site. Everyone's going to evacuate out. He's going to have such an advanced position. He's going to be able to cut off Cajun B. Is the first one to rotate to come find exactly what's waiting for him. And Stanislaw, a difficult situation. Difficult to get more than 2. Did everything he could. He had all the info, except for the fact that Subrosa had the escape route. That'll be around for Ghost Gaming, although Gade does salvage the AWP.
Yeah, and you almost wish, you know, like Stan just has this moment, this, you know, like 1,000 IQ play, because it was a very, very good flank to build up. And Stan's doing really well thus far in this match. Currently top of the board for OpTic. He's at 9-2. Not, you know, usually the man who we would initially look to in this roster to put up crazy numbers, but he is doing it thus far in this map. Ghost going to be moving on to a 4th round regardless. They keep 3 players alive once again. And they're not too confident on hunting down Gade. They want to try and build up this, you know, that much more money on their T-side economy. Plus, as far as I recall, the buy can't really come in here for OpTic. They invested everything into that previous round.
They can get 2 M4s on Stanislaw and Config. I think, based on their buying habits, they might go for it. No, they're going to be conservative this time. So a partial buy coming in for Stan. Still early on in the game, so it makes sense to kind of play with a bit more caution than going for a massive buy here. That could have wrecked the economy for the rest of the half. So fair play to OpTic with the good decision. Gade has a lot to do, though. The Op pushing up, flashbang. He eats that one. He was turned for a flash, and when it never came, he turns around, and then it pops. This is the default I was speaking of earlier. Ghost setting up just to watch for pushes pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like the aggression from Config in rounds prior, and then Stanislaw, you know, just that last round has really kind of shaken up their ability to try any sort of just all-in aggression. They are very, very weary of that happening once again, given that OpTic had so much success doing it twice in a row. So now they are holding on to mid. Only this time, Shazam. Not Shazam, rather. Stan and Gade, it was, had gone aggressive down through short. They're just going to go ahead and leave Stan here in the corner. Well, Gade goes for the retreat back up towards A. Cajun B around the pillar. He's been spotted. Seb trying to find him. Just getting probed now. The flank in from Stanislaw, and things get very dicey for Seb. He goes down. Config's going to emerge, and once again, it's players in the back that start to do the damage. Manify still up for OpTic, and a fast play from Ghost into this A bomb site. Wardell has dropped Stanislaw, but Gade's already here with the AWP. They don't want to keep running into it, but they've only got 24 seconds left. They have no other choices. They have to commit to this fight. And Gade, not usually an AWPer, has to try and hold the fort here. 15 seconds time is his ally. Cajun B rotating up, and Gade, he's dropped the first, goes back for more, and he's going to go ahead and finish off both players. Wardell and Visa go down. And OpTic going to be soaring forward onto a 3rd round.
And Ghost just gets so spread out during that round, when mostly they've stayed clumped up. Mostly they've played the trade game. This time Seb going in all alone to probe towards the B bomb site. He gets dropped from multiple different angles and then trying to retreat up the staircase, knives out, not really aware of the situation. That's a lot of time to be taken out of the round where the danger stairs hadn't been cleared out by the T side. So small mistake there from Ghost, not forcing anyone back and just lose too many players on their way to the bomb site. Now Config, another flank coming in for him. And there's Visa with the quick trade. So timing in the favor. Molotov down. Shazam with the AWP. They don't have to commit to this. They're going to. Shazam takes a shot. A no-scope as well. This is so discombobulated. This is an ugly round from OpTic, and they're about to lose one. They're about to lose again, and Sabrosa knows they're boosted up. Great damage, and there's the M4 to finish it off. Ghost Gaming going to trade back another round. Gade going to fight for his life. He might actually still go for this. No kit. Looking the wrong way. Stanley finishes it off. 2 kills for him, 3 for Visa. And OpTic again just get caught in weird positioning.
Yeah, it all starts when the early flank from Config in through the smoke falls through, and then missed shots from Shazam, who isn't really having a good game right now. He's 0-5. Struggling to get off to a good start, and this is a map where the AWP presence can really make or break your fate here on Overpass. Initially, OpTic going to be leaving a lot of players down towards B. Now they've switched things up, so there's a couple in heaven, and Config alone inside of the bomb site. Good thing count from Shazam. He's actually painted up Seb with a decent bit of damage. And KJB's there to go ahead and put one in the back of his skull. Quick, painless way to die. But Stanley is going to go ahead and make things painful for OpTic here. It's Shazam. That's not what you want to see.
Oh, he just kept going to the plant. No cares in the world. Good win for Gade. That should allow him to keep the AK-47, although he goes back for fights, and Wardell's not going to miss that shot. That's so awkward. Plant animation, headshot animation, all of it working against Shazam. I thought he was going to get off the bomb at some point and deal with the issue, but...
I love that he just
yeah, he's
stuck
just like,
it.
nah.
It's only Shazam. Yeah, I mean, that's really not how OpTic envisioned this, but actually a much faster round this time from Ghost. Gade's already shut down one through that smoke. He's going to start to fade away. But the one kill he gets at a Seb is enough to stop the aggression from Ghost. And the Ghost Train, it's a pretty apt name for it, has grinded to a halt.
It's tough because all 5 players here, you can't really fall back. You just have to keep pushing forward and hope you find some entrances. Sabrosa's found one. He's the only player kind of trying to get more. Ooh, and a boost from Wardell over the smoke. It's all down to timing. Here's the peek out. Stanislaw could have shown himself at any moment and just found a free kill. Molotov into the toxic barrels, but the smoke was still up, so they couldn't actually punish it. Ghost going to give up some ground, going to retreat a little bit more. There's the peek from Agent B. Takes great damage, down to 23. Equally, he's brought Wardell low. And Ghost just continuing with this pack mentality. 35 seconds left, and they haven't cleared anything towards A, so they have no other option but to continue trying to move forward. Cajun, can they spot him from this boost? Ooh, he goes for the jump. Goes for the spam, not connecting. Config needs to land a shot, but it doesn't really matter. He does anyways, but it's Stanislaw to get the first one. And Ghost finally out of utility, out of bodies. Can't make any more progress. 10 seconds left, and Wardell with 9 HP is just going to try and hide, and it might not be the worst idea. I don't think OpTic is going to try and chase him down. It's not like they've built up any kind of good money through these rounds, so they're content to just take the victory. They've been hard to come by for OpTic in these 2 maps. They've now equaled their score from Train with 4.
Yeah, the thing is by still coming in at 4 Ghost. It's a tactical timeout for Ghost, so still not proud of how things are going. Feels like when they go for those faster B plays, they do start to run into a bit of a brick wall. OpTic are very, very good at denying them that.
I mean, if this could be a completely different half if Ghost didn't have like OpTic in such a weird economic situation, just because of the fact that they don't actually seem to have a well-developed playbook. Like, remember, they won an eco round towards the A bomb site with some awkward fights from OpTic, and most of it has been fast towards the B bomb site that they've had success. And usually that works at the start because there's not Molotovs, there's not smokes that you can put into the choke point. So we're gonna have to see if Ghost has a new angle to take here. Double long stack for OpTic. It's Cajun in config. They're just falling back from it now. Smoke is pretty standard smoke over towards bathrooms. Helps to deny information on that first major doorway. But Ghost isn't using it. They've thrown it, but no one is actually trying to progress into bathrooms. Remember, this is an area they've struggled with in the past, is clearing out danger stairs, clearing out bathrooms, and being able to actually use the map control. 45 seconds left in the round, and they're just now starting to come down these stairs. This is a lot of time they're spending. By the time they actually clear out the danger, it's going to be 30 seconds left in the round, and they've got to start moving. They've got to start hustling, and there's still 2 Molotovs, still HE grenades and flashbangs to slow them down. You called it a ghost train earlier. Well, it better not stop.
Well, the Ghost train, well, the brakes have been applied, and that's in the form of config. He will finally be dealt, but there's only 14 seconds. The bomb has to go down any second now, or else this is all said and done, and there's still a crossfire here. Shazam going to chime in with one. Well, Del answers back, but Cajun B, he's gone and done it. Finds both frags at the end. And Ghost, they never really got rolling into that round until it was all too late.
I mean, that's... Yeah, the Ghost is, that's something, even if they end up winning this match, Ghost is going to have to go back to the drawing board and look at the way that they run that default into kind of map control of bathrooms and stairs, because it can't take that long. It just simply can't. Once you start executing it with 22, 23 seconds left of the first portion of bathrooms, like it's all kind of over from there, especially when config gets the double kill. Good opening from Sub Rosa over towards the B bomb site again, where they've had most of their success on this map. So back to basics. And Sub Rosa, as we saw in Train, being very aggressive all on his own. We saw him doing this in the outer yard in the previous map. Now he's doing it, obviously, towards Monster to get the opening pick. And now he can be much more patient with how he plays. But it looks like Ghost Gaming, again, is going to go towards that A style of slowly encroaching towards the bomb site. They just need to do it quicker this round.
Yeah, they're still taking things pretty slowly over here in mid, but there's a little bit more time left on the clock than in the previous. It's just Shazam and config still here. There's still a smoke up. Gade a long way out down on B. Still has Sub Rosa up on short to worry about. But now they're letting this time tick down. Shazam still waits. He's going to pick off Stanley. Now, he had a slow start, but he started to build into it in the last few rounds. Wardell will be there to silence him. Config had rotated away. So the timing has worked out for them. Visa going to be allowed to get the bomb down unless config denies it. He's pushed on up to Truck, and this might be the end of the road for him. He falls to Seb, who's in the bank now, has to try and put his money where his mouth is as players head up towards him. Puts one away. But now it's Gade 1v4. Has to try and first deal with Seb, and he will. But now the call to save looks like it is fresh in his mind. He's going to start to creep in, but he won't find any leeway in to this site. Okay, never mind. Visa's fallen now. Sub Rosa is a very long way away, but he does not know this, so he's been allowed to save the AWP. I don't know. It's not a bad outcome really for Gade in that scenario.
It's not the worst. Here's the thing. I mean, obviously you pick up the AWP, which is great, but OpTic's still not able to string rounds together. I think they've done it once in this half, but it was only 2 rounds. Other than that, it's been all individual rounds and then immediately responded and reset. This round is huge for OpTic. If they lose this one, they're staring down the barrel at a 5-10 half on the CT side of Overpass to a Ghost Gaming that's playing very, very strong in these two maps. So they've got to be worried here. This is where Shazam with that AWP needs to step up. You need to see Config with the M4 do some work, and there's the peak. Shazam not ready for it, looking at the right side of that alleyway, and gets taken down. Fast shot from Wardell. Ghost got the opening pick last time, which obviously helps very much alleviate some of the problems they've had with timing. Config is the next obstacle. Apparently so is Stanley with the missed Molotov. And Config is all alone. Smoke's going to fade pretty soon, and then Config has a decision to make whether he wants to fall back or not. He does have Stanislaw here with him now. 2 players at B, 2 players in bathrooms.
Yeah, the boost from Gade allows them to find that first onto Subrosa. That forces them back into the waiting arms of Config, but Wardell is there to deny it. Stanislaw on the MP9, able to pick up 2, and now suddenly this round gets very interesting. It's Seb on this lane flank into B. If he finds the frag onto Gade, then this round might be decided. Gade will fall, and now it's Cajun B rotating into this B bomb site. 20 seconds left. Won't be able to deny the plant. There's still a Molotov up for Visa as well, so that's going to make things that much harder. Cajun B's been spotted, and Seb will lock in an 8th for Ghost Gaming, and that's the reset to come through once again for OpTic. Money has been the bane of their existence.
It really has been. This has been so tough. Even given the gift of Ghost trying to assume the route is clear up those stairs, 2 players with knives out get taken down by the SMG, and Ghost is still able to work it very nicely. Seb playing a pretty good lurk roll, actually, I should say a very good lurk roll over towards that B bomb site. Once those kills come out, he's able to just kind of march in and get a great angle. Gade never saw it coming. He was retreating so he could have a jump on the rotate back towards A, because they believed that to be the final destination. And now just pistols, and this is what I'm talking about. Could be a 5-10 half. As even next round, the money's not going to be fantastic for the OpTic side.
And it's a very, very slow default this round from Ghost. They're weary that OpTic might try something more aggressive with these pistols. 4 players for OpTic down in this B bomb site, and Ghost, they've taken the right decision right now. They've gone ahead and gambled. 3 players over towards long as they're clearing out all these angles, and there's only 1 man up inside of the A bomb site. That is Shazam, who hasn't been having the game of his life. OpTic now, they've kind of sat around on B for a bit. They're going to try testing the waters as they push down through short. Seb is up in connector, so he could discover this. Now wishing he'd just let sleeping dogs lie as they do all emerge. They shut him down. That's an AK retrieved. Perhaps some information he would have rather not had, although it has now allowed the bomb to seep in towards the A bomb site. It's going to go down, and while Shazam and Config are both nearby, Gade and Stan have both committed to the save back in T-spawn.
Damage done by Config, but yeah, no real chance of winning. Set up to get some exit kills. Maybe rush in towards the end of the bomb timer as well. Ghost's going to be at 9. At the end of Train, we were wondering, could they do it twice? And they're putting themselves in a phenomenal position to be able to do it. A follow-up upset. Wardell's still on the site, going to take care of Shazam and going to fall away. He is dinked up. And they should be safe from the explosion and the 2 remaining OpTic members. 9-5 for Ghost.
Yeah, this is unreal. And I mean, it is helped greatly, though, by a fairly below-average performance right now from Shazam and Cajun B. And I think, you know, much to the disparity of OpTic, those are both the players who we could have seen on the AWP in this in this match as well, and neither one of them really finding their footing just yet.
I haven't really seen Cajun use it, but all I know is Wardell's definitely outdueled Shazam across these two maps. Maybe just an off day for Shazam. He's generally very good, and he's actually found, you know, towards the end of his time in Misfits, he found a good amount of consistency as well. Here comes the uppercut, explosion through the smoke, explosion to the B bomb site. Great hold by Cajun and Gade, but they do eventually trade it out. Stanislaw now arrived, but he's exposed to everything. 2 players remaining. Molotov going to hold him back. Wardell still alive with that AWP, being very cautious of the flank. He's got to worry about the open. Config slides out through the Molotov, but he's found in the end. A one-on-one, and we just talked about this matchup. Wardell versus Shazam. The 2 ops. Molotov still on Wardell, so depending on where Shazam uses this smoke, right on the bomb. That's a good find, although I think it just barely misses its mark. Wardell going to close up with the deagle, sees the shoulder, but so does Shazam. A critical win at the end of the half. It's been all Ghost gaming, and it's been all economic woes for OpTic, barely able to string rounds together. And Ghost with the big advantage heading into the defensive side.
Yeah, that was, I mean, you know, Shazam picked his moment there to actually win out one of those duels versus Shazam.
That pistol round was astounding from Config. When you saw him land those shots, I just thought, well, Config's going to have a really good half, but the immediate response from Ghost in the following round kind of neutralized that. It's all gravy from there for Ghost. I think that's the big question mark heading into this second half, is just, is anyone going to be able to duel against Wardell? He's been great. Even though Shazam wins that last battle for the entirety of that half, he's been the victor in pretty much every single way.
Yeah, and I would argue, you know, the CT side AWP on this map is one of those where it can be quite a bit stronger. There's so much versatility in that AWP in terms of the amount of information it can net you and how it can get you off to a good start. I imagine we're going to see him play quite fast and loose with it over towards mid, taking aggression as well down towards B, just mixing things up because he does like to keep things dynamic. But for OpTic, pistol round would be a blessing. That suddenly gives them the opportunity to be thrown back into the lead. Not into the lead, but into a tie game, potentially. And look at this, Ghost. They've gone early on with aggression out in towards the middle. Get some information. There's 3 players now wrapping through connector, while Stanley is alone in B. This is setting up for the retake. And as those smokes head in, Sabrosa spotted nothing in mid. They're weary that it is going to be this B play. Stanley now gets locked out, and now you look to the players into connector to try and make the difference. Seb, Wardell, they've done it all. They found 3 massive frags up on short. Make that a 4th as Wardell looks to try and drive this one home. It all falls on occasion B. And he's in a 1v5.
Checkmate. That's unreal. Great pistol round from Ghost. No defense at the B bomb site, just one player spotting and ready to open the door when the hit comes in. And I mean, they hit some great shots. Seb with 2 kills, Wardell with 2 kills. That's another clever CT pistol that that Ghost pulls off. Quick timeout coming in. Not entirely sure why, but we'll find out for you. Either way, buys coming in. Obviously, Ghost going to invest, and it is a tactical timeout. OpTic feeling the heat.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen them take too many of these, right? They've been quite neglectful of pulling the tactical timeout. But now the pressure's really on. I mean, this is one of the matchups that, you know, so many teams got 3 wins versus Ghost. So for OpTic to drop one of, 2 maps potentially to Ghost, it's pretty devastating for them, right? I mean, you know, the competition only gets harder as the weeks go on because we still already have SK, Cloud9, Liquid, all those guys haven't played all too much.
I remember, I remember thinking back to week 1. This OpTic team is one that I think pretty much all the analysts picked to just by virtue of the roster that they threw together. Stanislaw's got championships. Config has championships. Cajun has championships. Shazam and Gade. I mean, Gade obviously the question mark coming in, but Shazam no slouch with the AWP. So looked to be a very well put together team. This is a team that everyone expected to be in the playoffs, especially in the weaker region. They're struggling here. These are not maps you want to drop down the stretch. These are the games that, towards the end of the year, if you just miss the playoffs, these are the ones you look at.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely on now. And OpTic, they are feeling the heat. They're going to look to try and spice things up, though. Charging in towards his site, Config chimes in with the Deeg. Sabrosa's close, but he's been surrounded. And as such, he will get swallowed up in the OpTic approach. And already Ghost, they're looking locked out of this round. They're going to start to creep forward, want to try and go for this. Still have a little bit of utility to try and broker their way into the site. Seb has to check close. Cajun's going to go down. So they found one, but Gade is unrelenting here at long. He's going to go ahead and drop one more. And a second. Now it's Seb 1v3, and it's not going to happen. Config finishes off that round with a second on the Deeg. And OpTic Gaming, they're going to be back with a 7th round once again. Same as what we saw in the first half, but this time with the roles reversed.
Yeah, keeping things close as well, not letting it drift too far away from them. I think that's going to be a pretty cool storyline to keep track of in the second half, because we obviously saw on the T side of Ghost, they didn't really have a great feel for the bathrooms, and even sometimes for danger stairs. We'll have to see how they manage it throughout this half on the CT side. Wardell takes damage from 2 different nades. He's spotted by the jump from Stanislaw. He's going to fall away. He's got the scout investment from everyone else. Deagle, 2 Deagles, 5-7 in his CZ. But certainly in that second round, I mean, the main thing that OpTic gets that allows him to win is so much control, the ability to get so close to that A bomb site without ever being spotted. Oh, Cajun's caught off guard. Surely he's going to go down, and he does. Now you start seeing the dots start to converge towards this A bomb site. It's only Seb here with the Deagle. He needs a good shot. Config leading the way up, misses the initial. Going to go for more. Config handles it. Creates space for his team. The bomb will get planted, and there's even players watching the flank now as well. Shazam took some time to get the gun out, but he does find it. But Seb still wreaking havoc, and going to peek back into it. One more battle won for Shazam, and Stanley the only man remaining.
Yeah, and well, for Manly Stanley, it is not one that he can make his way back into. We just elect to try and hide. Keep the CZ and armor into the next round. Hope that maybe one of these players comes running your way, but no one will be doing that for OpTic. They will instead exit together, look to try and keep as many of these rifles up as they can. That's an 8th now on the board for this T side. No money for Ghost to invest into this round either, so a 9th will be looming for them. The money's starting to accrue as well. Shazam now trying to make some money. 3 nades brought up. Going to be a nade stack over towards... I was going to say imagine towards mid, but instead they switch up and go towards B, and this is actually a fantastic read. 3 players head there early on. A chance for these nades to find some success. How underwhelming. They don't get anything done.
Yeah, Shazam would have liked to have farmed up something. Stanley's been spotted with this aggression, and Config's going to help his buddy out. Him and Cajun working well together. 4-on-3 scenario, and OpTic is just waiting for the next play from Ghosts. Continually being aggressive and probing in towards these short sewers, but either way, OpTic's going to put themselves in a pretty nice situation, all things considered, up towards 9 rounds after this with the return of the pistol. That might have been crippling if Ghost went on to win all 2 or both rounds after the pistol. Cajun here's the drop down from that boost. All of OpTic is reconverging here, and it's a good call. Seb has drifted away. He says a free kill. And now the hit is on. They already have the B bomb site.
Yeah, for Seb and Wardell, there is no way back into this round. That is almost for certain. Seb will be lingering around with the Mac 10, hoping he can make some money. Wardell has flanked all the way around through Park, and won't find anything either. OpTic on to a 9. They've started to close the gap since moving on the T side. We've seen the Danes start to step things up. Cajun being Config, finding their footing in particular. Gade as well. It has been the 3 Danes actually that have gotten the majority of the frags across these rounds. And that's what we need to see if OpTic want to have a chance of coming back here in this second half.
Yeah, it's obviously it's not too far out of reach, and I think the number one goal for Ghost is get the op in Wardell's hands, and the number one goal for OpTic has to be to keep the op out of his hands at all costs. But this is going to be tactical from Ghost. Wardell is sitting at about $5,000, so they have to decide if they want to get the AWP with no armor. I think they will make that decision. Yeah, they do. Big round here. First gun round of this second half. If you're just tuning in, Ghost did win the first map of this series. It was Train, and it was a trouncing. It was 16-4 in the favor of Ghost, which is incredible. Started with an 11-4 half on the CT side, and then went into a clean sweep in the second half.
Oh, timing shot.
This? All right, calm down. If I ever see that shot hit, I'm a freak out. Looks like somewhat of a repeat of the pistol round, but it's going to be contact play through Monster. One flashbang. Counter flash is coming out for the CT side. Seb, opening kill. That's the bomb down. Rotations can start coming in. It's an awkward angle to fight, and already pushing out of the door is Ghost. But Sub Rosa is brought down to 12, and he's got to be careful with his next fight selection. Wardell is coming with the op. He too has to be careful that someone's not already posted up, and look at Stanislaw. He's going back, almost poised to come through the short sewers towards water. Sabrosa is so battered in his HP, he goes towards stairs, and it's Visa who has to be patient and make the right call. Shazam flashing over. Visa's blind. It should be a good kill for Stanislaw. He knows it. Great headshot through the corner of the box, and no one else is here from the B bomb site. Sabrosa went away because of the low health. This is advantage OpTic in the round. Smoke going to go out. Where is Wardell? I believe he's still in bank, far away, and he's going to be met with smoke in the choke point. Now, moves being made for Ghost. Sabrosa's not going to shy away. Peek's going to come in, flashbang over. That's a huge kill. Stanislaw can't return it, but the missed shot. Surely Stanislaw should be able to win this. 20 seconds on the clock. Tap the bomb, see if Sub Rosa's going to come through, but he's playing a bold game. As the time winds down, 15 seconds now. Another tap of the bomb and lures Sub Rosa into it. One bullet will do. All picked up as well. 4 kills for Stanislaw on the round. Great patient play for OpTic.
Yeah, and I said, you know, just rounds ago, it was the Danes stepping up, but in that round, everything goes on the back of Stan. That is absolutely fantastic. Buy now coming in from Ghost, but it's 10-10, all tied up, and it's the CZs, 5-7 of Visa to try and keep them in this one now. And one man alone at down in B, that's Seb. The rest of the gang down in the toilets. They're grouped up here together, but OpTic, they've slowed right down. They're not keen on giving a round back. Although, I do notice a tendency that whenever the scoreline goes equal, on the first time round, this is, I think I've told you this before actually, Jason, my view on this, is then the team that was originally in the lead managed to retake the lead.
Okay.
Let's just see if that holds true. That's called Reese's Law.
Reese's Law.
Yeah.
Do you still remember your word of the day?
No.
Well done.
I know. It's a learning experience.
Do you still remember yesterday's word of the day?
Yeah, Kahana, which means state of misery.
Okay.
Which is probably where Ghost Gaming find themselves right now.
I mean, they have a pretty nice stack that hasn't been spotted, hasn't been cleared. They're going to have a real dirty flank, although Cajun is watching for any kind of play from behind. Oh no, he turns his back. They can get through. He does spot him out at the end. He calls him out just at the last moment. Shazam has a battle on his hands, but his rest of his teammates have been alerted. The SMGs, the AKs can get involved, and there was a momentary scare for OpTic, but they survive with all 5 players.
Yeah, now they've successfully managed to take the lead over Ghost. The buy now comes in for Ghost Gaming. Wardell's got that AWP in hand, and that's something you've really been stressing the importance of. You bought a Zeus. I don't know if that was intentional. You can't imagine it was.
Why not? I like it. you never know when you need a taser. Visa's pushed up towards Picnic. That's a nice nade. Good timing on that. Shazam eats it. Lands right between his legs. 46 HP left. That might come in handy later. Still a UMP on the board for Config. And Ghost wants to find out what's going on. Quick peek from Seb, sees nothing. Quick peek from Visa, sees nothing. So very passive setup from OpTic.
Yeah, Stan has to be wary of Visa up in Pi, because it will not be a celebration if Visa discovers the bomb here in mid. Sabrosa has a crossfire set up, but OpTic Gaming, they've been affording control of long. The peek comes through, and Shazam is very quick to deny Visa anything there. Wardell answers back in the only way he knows how, in eliminating Shazam, or Stan actually this time around, but he's going to now turn his attention out towards long. Players coming his way, trying to take the shot there, but switched a little too early, and now will be flushed out of bank. They're going to keep pushing, and they keep pushing into the maws of Wardell.
Oh.
Oh, now that's a dirty shot back from Shazam. Into a 3-on-3 we go. The bomb planted for bank, which isn't ideal when you can look at the positioning of Gade. Seb shuts down one. Gade has pounced, though, and sprung out onto Sabrosa, leaving it 2-on-2. And Stanley's aggressive into the site. Shazam has awoken, though. He's onto a third, and that's massive in this round. It is all onto Seb. The bomb not planted for either of these guys, but with no kit. Gonna find himself in a spot of bother. Does manage to find the first. Taps the bomb once again. But Gade finds him on the repeak. And that is going to be a 12th round for OpTic.
Yeah, really well done from OpTic in that round. And the reason why they had to challenge Wardell, the reason why that shot from Shazam is so good and so important, is because they never cleared out bathrooms. They all went long, so they couldn't plant at the front because you never know who's going to be there to stop it. So smokes allow them to get towards the back of those bomb boxes, and then all they have to do is clear out bank. So nicely done from OpTic, and great round from Shazam. 12-10. Back onto pistols we go for Ghost. They're probably thinking of that second round, the one that got away. Could have been so much easier. Wardell in a bit of a battle. A good win from Visa. He's going to push forward to try and find more. Stanislaw almost gives it up, but still a big advantage with that AK. And again, the main brunt of the attack coming towards long. And if this does eventually come to fruition, Wardell's the only one here with 16 HP. He does have a deagle, which can get a lucky shot. It doesn't happen. Does land 2 tags through the corner of the wall, but Config's fine with that. Bomb going to come up very delayed just to make sure it's safe.
And now that puts pressure on Gade a bit. He starts to rotate back round into the arms of Stanley. He goes, so now Gade has been cut off. And bomb plant will come through, but they first have to try and contend with the players in toilets. Down falls Stanley. Sabrosa's flanked back through the long angle, and they are weary of someone else being around here. But now both players inside of the site. There's no kits. They have got an incendiary there to try and ward these players out of bank. They first have to take the duel with Shazam. A missed shot, that's given them a way in. They line up quite. Stan in with the trade. 1v1. Sabrosa taps the bomb. Flash goes over. Times tick so low, and that will be the round the way of OpTic. Stan, all he had to do was hide. As that is a 13th round now on the board. They are reclaiming this map in a big way.
Yeah, they've needed it as well. That round was so cautious. It was almost too cautious. Took them a long time to put that plant down, and by the time they eventually do, all the flanks are coming in. So a lot of danger there. OpTic's fortunate to get away with it, but they have so much money, so the losses don't necessarily matter at this point. They won't matter until Ghosts can manage to win a round, because as dire as it seems, with only winning the pistol, they're still so close to striking and even things out. It has been a 7-1 run to get us to this point, with OpTic at a 13-10 lead. The CT side from Ghost, they've never been able to figure it out in this half. One thing that worked was that kind of gimmicky pistol round they did towards the danger stairs in the door on a B hit from OpTic, but now they have to play a little bit more standard, and they haven't been able to do it.
Well, now the buys come in for Ghost, and this is it. This is really their last chance to try and haul this one back. Wardell plays the anti-flash, but there is a second one that comes through. It's going to send him away from middle. And OpTic seeping through the map, taking control of all the key areas. Shazam's going to be keeping an eye on long, where Sabrosa does bite his tongue. Config securing controller connector. Stanley and Seb, they've made progress down 3 short. There's actually no one really here to keep this in check. Config's in connector, but he has got 2 players eyeing him up if he opens this door. Flash goes high, door gets open. They've spotted out Seb. Seb is going to falter, and now Stanley in a position where he wants to try and trade, but they've just closed the door on that opportunity. Sabrosa, in the meantime, he tries aggression at long and gets punished for it. That's the B-bomb site cracked in 2, with Visa and Wardell both isolated from this fight. They're going to find themselves 2 on 5, and in this situation, you really kind of look at them, they have to save.
Yeah, all the aggression punished for Ghost. OpTic set up perfectly to handle that. Very nice T side coming out to maybe a inexperienced CT side on Overpass for Ghost. Seems like they're coming back to try and fight for this, which would be confusing, or maybe just settling into bank to defend against any attempt at the hunt. Nothing coming their way yet, although I imagine OpTic, at least a couple players, are going to be aggressive about it. Certainly Config, working his way up the stairs. He'll see Wardell when he turns the corner, but it's right through the edge of the wall again. Visa now to try and recover it. Missed shot, but they know where he is. Now they pick up the pace. Now they let go of the walk key, and Visa's going to have to fight his way out from so many different angles. Smoke is down, and here comes Stanislaw, low HP, but it's against the op. The no-scope works, and he's not going to be able to get away. Huge kill from Gade right at the end. Wardell has plenty of money to pick up the AWP, but Ghost has to buy here. They have some money. They're right on the edge, and they just can't do half buys anymore. They can't let OpTic get these rounds. Stanislaw with 24, Config with 21.
So Ghost, they've scraped together everything they can muster. But it is it's time for them to choose whether or not they want to keep afloat in this map, or if they are just going to concede to the currents and sink on under. Wardell lies in wait up here on A along with Sabrosa. Shazam wins that duel, and he started winning these duels versus Wardell. The cracks starting to show in this Ghost Gaming defense. Now Sabrosa's going to be spotted. Config does tag him up. Trying to get out of there, but Config's gone straight through the Molotov, and Sabrosa's not ready for that. Visa tries to reclaim lost ground, and he will. And that is massive. That's delayed this A player, now meant that OpTic, they've had to grind to a halt. Gade's in the back, though. That's finally Visa dealt with, but in before that, he does manage to pick up a third, so his impact's been monumental. Now the fate of this round rests on Stanley and Seb.
Oh, that smoke went too deep, though. Stanley's going to be able to stop this. He jumps up. They get off the bomb. Good kill from Gade. He's got one more to deal with. His smoke went so deep down the stairs, there was no cover, and it actually extinguished the fallout Molotov. Seb just waiting and surprises him. Gade, excuse me, just combine the two names. Gade, thinking maybe the flank was coming in. Finally, it's been so long, but Ghost is back on the board. Unfortunately, if they lose this round, they will have, you know, like $1,400 for the last round. So, no pressure. Sabrosa would have right around 2,200, but everyone else would be at 1,400, 1,450. So, scary times. Sabrosa almost gets caught out, and they're chasing him down. I don't even know if they'll worry about that smoke. Timing spray through. Stanislaw tapping away. The return fire. There is a boost. I'm not quite sure how he's alive still. But nicely done from Sabrosa. Oh, right at the end. Config does find it. Shazam now, a lot of time with the AWP. Minute and 10 seconds left. And Cajun crawling towards Monster Tunnel. His teammates meeting up with him as well. Stanley's at an off angle. Seb is here as well. Could be huge. The spray comes in. Now it's Seb's turn, although he misses. Now peeking out again, a great crossfire setup, and Ghost right back into this one. 4 players surviving. Don't have to worry about the money whatsoever. Still a lot to burn through on the OpTic side, although it's starting to dwindle. Cajun needs a drop. Ghost now definitely within striking distance.
Yeah, it's been back and forth, to say the very least. Now, OpTic dropping rounds the way that you almost dropped your phone there, Jason. That was a nice suave catch.
Yeah, I'm stylish like that. Some team kills, some team damage coming out. Nade to blow open the door. Oh, it's almost a double. Brought down low. Wardell still alive. And OpTic knows they don't want to chase. Molotov nade in to follow up. Great utility usage, and Seb is stuck. Stuck being aggressive. Nowhere to go after that. Although Stanley is still here. Got himself a new position, protected by smoke, but not protected from Cajun B. And OpTic powering their way into this B bomb site. Sabrosa responding, but not enough. And there's Shazam lighting it up from afar. 15 rounds. Ghost is going to have to win 3 straight, and they don't have no monies. They cannot show Jerry the money.
And I mean, that's not the buy you want to be heading in to...
It's definitely not ideal.
They've got just the 1 incendiary rather. 4 smokes at least. That's perhaps a silver lining, although Wardell is already forced back out of mid. Let's go ahead and try and take the fight. Visa's going to emerge. He only manages 1. There is still Sabrosa here, and will they anticipate a second man? Gade certainly does not. Wardell still toying with him and keeping their attention fixated on him. Hugo pushing into it, and they will just take the fight and win it straight out. It's Stan to go ahead and do it. Some chip damage done by the molly as it spreads onto the feet of Stanisar. And they're going to start a hasty retreat back down here towards B. And there's only Sabrosa here right now. Still a minute left, and Sabrosa, he has been struggling in these last few rounds to not give up much early on. He hides away now, and this is where they need him to step up.
Yeah, this is a do-or-die position for sure. His teammates are so far away. Stanley and Seb pushing up across bathroom, so it really is Sabrosa against the world. And Cajun's not going to be fooled. He's going to check this for sure. There's the slide out. It is 1, but a lot to deal with. Can't get a second. Has done great damage on a Shazam, and the flank is going to come in rather quickly. They're already out of the door. And Shazam's got the angle. Got to be careful about that wall. It's just Stanislaw, 1 versus 2. Going to get into the site, going to get that bomb planted under cover of fire. Where does he go from here? Molotov next. He's going to look towards Monster and looks away. It's a 13th round for Ghost Gaming.
Yeah, they're not ready to give this one up just up yet. Jason, really stumbled there.
Yeah, you did.
Well, you know, you have to take a few falls to truly learn. And that's what Ghost Gaming are realizing now. They've had their fair share of stumbles, but they've started to recover a little bit here. The buy can come in once again.
They had a lot of stumbles last season.
Yes, they did. And even more across their previous maps. But the good news, at least, for Ghost, is that if they win this round, the economy of OpTic is well and truly broken. At which point, overtime would be a certainty.
Good start. Config brought down to 7. OpTic's been playing this pretty cautiously throughout their T side, starting out very, very far back.
Yeah, the bulk of OpTic over in mid. Config's going to keep progressing in through connector here. He's going to very quickly realize this has been given to them for free. Down up on the flower beds, peeking over down through mid. He still makes some noise, kind of playing with fire there. He is in grave danger, being so low on HP.
OpTic seem a little bit lost here, don't they? They're not entirely sure where they want to go. 40 seconds left. And just now going to start their march to the A-bomb site. Sabrosa out in the open. Utility going to be used. There's 2 players there and a third on the way, Visa. But actually, Sabrosa puts himself in a position where he's going to be stuck behind smoke once it plumes. Counter utility not doing too much. 20 seconds on the clock. No one actually in the bomb site. This could be a huge misstep for Ghost. They're trying to stop the plant. It's not going to happen. Now they have to fight their way back into it, and they lose the initial battles. Shazam and Stanislav both chiming in. And it's a desperate situation for Ghost, who have barely clung on in this match. Smoke goes down, and Seb has obscured vision. 3 kits, but no utility left for the CT side. Now pushing through. Desperation, no kills coming through. Stanley adds 1, but it's not enough. Shazam has come alive towards the end of this game, and even though he goes down, he has a heroic performance. OpTic respond. It was a close affair, much more difficult than they expected it to be, but they're going to probably breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I mean, splitting the series, I don't think that was an outcome that anyone really saw coming, but OpTic, they do manage to scrape it together on Overpass at the very least. You kind of need all the wins you can get, and goes through a team, I think they were expecting to 2-0.
Yeah.
Were they, Harry?
What's up, dudes?
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. You guys ready to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Knock it out of the park,
Oh,
boys.
yeah. Let's go ahead and do it.
Easy.
It's Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, it is always thirsty around some of these guys. Look, let's go ahead and dive right into this one because they're able to do it. OpTic is able to split maps, and with that,
You say that like it's an accomplishment.
well, with the way that
Ghost played the first one,
and with how OpTic played for the better part of the series.
yeah, I mean, how it was a very much a one-sided affair there to kick the day off. With these two teams, at least.
Yeah.
What are some things that we can note right off the top, Pim?
I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed in Ghost. They didn't listen into what I was saying before the game because they had a good T side starting off the game, and that was pretty much you said it out there. You know, they're outplaying OpTic pretty much in all aspects of the game. Getting 9 rounds on the T side is pretty good on Overpass. Obviously, OpTic didn't have the best start to that game, but when they switched over to the CT side, they didn't do any mid round aggression. They were played a little bit too scared, and I think there was a case more like where Ghost felt they were afraid to win instead of, you know, just play their game and keep being like mid-round aggression, keeping aggressive and keep playing their game. They just felt like a team that all of a sudden, you know, had everything to lose and started to be afraid to win. And if you feel that as a Counter-Strike player, you easily get on your back foot, and that's what I think we saw in that second half where OpTic managed to clinch it back. And that I will say is a little bit disappointing because they had a good chance of actually taking this 1-2-0.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's actually a similar story for both teams, really, when you talk about their CT sides. Very static, not very innovative, not really putting any pressure at all on your opponents. We saw that for the better part of that actually very solid half from first half from Ghost, that they were just given so much ground. To be fair, they did do their due diligence and actually, you know, used Molotov and et cetera to clear out, you know, space towards bathroom and all that kind of stuff. But there was never really any opposition to run up against in the form of OpTic, and that's somewhat surprising to see from such an experienced team as OpTic is, and also given the players that they have. Obviously, you know, you have you know, a group coming from North who were notorious for playing these aggressive mid rounds and so on, whether it was the A or B bomb site. Didn't see much of that at all. But the big kind of fall down for Ghost is what you talk about, the fact that they kind of got scared to win. Which seems a bit ridiculous considering the state that we normally portray Ghost being in the grand context of things. But that really was what it felt like. You didn't see any sort of aggressive pick trying to come out from Wardell for the better part of the game, and just not a lot happening.
And that's what happens sometimes, you know, when you're the underdog, at least when you're the big underdog. You come to a realization where you all of a sudden are in a position where you're like, oh shit, we can win this 2-0, you know.
Oops.
Oops. You're like, we can actually take this one 2-0. And that's, like we pointed out already, when you get scared to win, it's Counter-Strike is a difficult game to play. You gotta be confident, you gotta be thinking 1 or 2 steps ahead. But if you think about, we're about to win now, then you lose that edge. And that's what we saw happen against OpTic.
It's ironically a little bit how life works.
Yeah, you can say so.
In a roundabout way. In a roundabout way, I think. Yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at today's results, because that just about does it for us here of week number 3, match day number 9. And here they are. We saw the day kick off with Mirage and Cobble there between Renegades and Liquid. Of course, 16-9 there. 16 found by Liquid with relative ease, so to say.
Yeah.
Then obviously just having watched this OpTic Ghost matchup across Train and Overpass, Ghost came out swinging. They got a victory on the night. They got a victory on the season, and every one for them will count. Of course, at this point, it might even say the same for OpTic. Let's take a look, though, at the NA standings. Go ahead and walk me through what you got here.
I mean, well, we still got Liquid undefeated, joining in with Energy there as the only 2 teams yet to suffer a loss. Pretty impressive stuff, and Team Liquid also climbing to the top spot for now in Pro League with 23 points. And then we can see a bit of a jump here from Ghost Gaming from the bottom standings. SK right now sitting in relegation, definitely not a place anyone would have had them going into this. But yeah, for all over, just pretty impressed by how Ghosts are doing as of right now.
Well,
Cloud9 down there as well.
Yeah, Cloud9's down there, but that, it's got to be some sort of error. It could never be what's actually.
They won a major, didn't they?
They did.
They did. Yeah.
Hold on, say it again.
They won a major, the
there's
first one.
There's that J I was talking about. It's a little elusive in this part of the world. Let's take a look at next week, because we do have a full week of matches again. Only going to be 2 matches per night, or excuse me, 2 matchups, I should say.
Yep.
And within the mainstream, a little bit of Liquid and Luminosity and Cloud9 Energy. I think Cloud9 Energy could be a pretty fairly distributed bout in terms of weight titles there.
It's going to be one of those games that's going to define the rest of the season for both teams. Can Energy take this one 2-0, at least get a map of Cloud9? That would solidify them as being a top team in this league and definitely making it to the World Finals. Whereas if Cloud9 go down 2-0 and don't get 2 wins, they're all about to miss it. They lasted last season and didn't make it for Odins in the finals, and that would be a huge disaster that happened again. So we're going to see a match that is going to determine what's to be expected for the rest of the season for both teams.
Well, only time will tell. Did you know that? Because that's what I knew.
That's what
I was told. Someone told me that right before I came in here, and I kind of bought right into the program. Let's take a look at the EU standings, though, because there is an entire other set of another division here, I should say, trying to work their way into the playoffs.
These teams are losing, though, unlike Liquid and Energy. So no undefeated team in the EU region. Mousesport's still sitting at the top with Astralis. Pretty comfortable scoreline in that sense. Navi also doing well for themselves, even though we have seen them have some struggles, being somewhat inconsistent. Cool to see NIP as well doing pretty well for themselves. They're trying to find their new identity with Dennis at the wheel. And
I'm a little bit afraid of seeing North down there, especially with that round difference, minus 45, only won 4 games. G2, obviously, but that's to be expected. G2 is a mess right now.
So a mess and a half.
A mess and a half, you would say. So North is supposed to be this new Danish lineup with getting rid of Config and Cajun, as we just saw playing OpTic. That should be a good move for them, but it actually seemed to make them weaker, and that's a big problem for them going into the season. They're probably not going to make the playoff, and that's a huge disappointment.
You should get in there and let them know how it's done, Pimp. And with that, let's go on to next week's matchups from EU. Let's go ahead and slide right into there, which will be Heroic and Nip kicking it off. Again, this will be match day number 10, so that'll be Tuesday. Astralis, Hellraisers, and then again Heroic and G2. Any matches right here you guys are seeing that look pretty new?
I mean, initially, the first game really to kick things off, Heroic versus NIP, should be pretty interesting. Heroic, not sure whether or not they're going to be able to play with Yugi or not in the upcoming week. That's going to be a big tell whether or not they're going to be as competitive as you would like them to be. But, seeing Nip playing well is always fun. That just kind of feels right within the, in terms of CS, and Nip doing pretty all right for themselves. So, yeah, looking forward to that match.
Well, there you have it. European match day number 10. Which will obviously be followed by North American Match Day number 10 as well. It's weird how that works around here. Look, I'm going to have to make a special time here to say hello to some friends of mine who let me know that they were watching, some former battle buddies of mine, of course. And with that, it's going to be Brooks, it's going to be Maccabetus, it's going to be Wallace, and of course, Brian Cooper. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, even though I wasn't expecting all that tonight. I appreciate the love and support. And with that, we're going to go ahead and close this bad boy down from the Intel Esports Arena. We'll be catching you guys on the next match day, so we'll see you then.
You forgot your mom?
Yeah, whatever. See you.
Incendiary out.